Hey, everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're talking meditation. I know a lot of you have been asking for this one, so we're going to jump right in with Mindful Minute, meditation basics and practice. Um, I have to say, I'm a little bit, skeptical of some of the claims I hear about meditation, but I'm excited to see what this source has to say, especially about like the science behind it, not just the kind of the mystical stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people associate meditation with, kind of vague spiritual ideas, but this source really digs into, the research, the studies that show how meditation impacts things like stress hormones and brain activity and all that.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. I like that. So before we, get too deep into the science, let's just start with like the basics. How does this source like define meditation? What is it?
Yeah. Basically, it boils down to training your mind to focus and to, redirect your thoughts. It's not about like emptying your mind completely, which I think is a pretty common misconception. The source actually uses this analogy. It's like watching your thoughts kind of drift by like clouds without judging them and gently bringing your attention back to like the present moment.
So it's more about like noticing the thoughts rather than trying to like, force them away or something. I guess that seems a little less intimidating, right? But here's the thing. Even if you can, calm your mind for a few minutes, does that actually make any kind of lasting difference in, daily life?
Right. That's a great question. And that's where, this whole science part comes in. The source actually highlights a study from Harvard. And they found that just 8 weeks of regular meditation actually physically changed the structure of people's brains. Like the areas that are associated with stress and anxiety, they actually shrunk. And the areas that are linked to memory and self-awareness actually grew.
Whoa. Okay, that is fascinating. So it's not just like, a feeling. It's like literally changing the way our brains work. Wow. So what kind of like practical benefits can we expect? I mean, I'm guessing like stress reduction is probably, a big one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The source talks about how meditation can lower levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And it's not just about like, feeling less stressed. It goes way beyond that. Lower cortisol levels have been linked to improved sleep, better cardiovascular health, and even like a stronger immune system.
Okay, now you're talking. See, I knew stress was bad. I didn't realize it was like that far-reaching. Are there any other benefits that might, surprise people?
Yeah, there are quite a few actually. The source cites research showing that meditation can improve, focus and concentration, which I think we can all agree is pretty valuable in this, hyper-distracted world we live in. And get this, it can even boost creativity, by helping us tap into a more relaxed and open state of mind.
Really? Huh. See, I always thought like, creativity came from like pushing yourself, not from relaxing. And I see the connection here. Less stress, better focus, more creative thinking. It's like, all connected.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect almost. And it doesn't even stop there. The source goes on to, emphasize like the emotional benefits of meditation. It can really help regulate our emotions, lead to like a more positive outlook on life. And then there's this whole self-awareness piece, which is super important for personal growth and, just having good relationships.
Okay, so I'm intrigued by this self-awareness part. What does that really mean? Like, how does meditation actually help us understand ourselves better?
Well, when you meditate, you're basically training yourself to like observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's almost like holding up a mirror to your inner world, right? And the more you practice that, the more aware you become of your patterns of thinking, your emotional triggers, even like the underlying beliefs that shape how you act. And that self-awareness, that's crucial for making positive changes because you can't really change what you're not aware of.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about feeling good. It's about like understanding yourself so you can, make positive changes. I like it.
Exactly. And this source make it really clear that you don't have to be like some kind of spiritual guru to benefit from meditation. It's really for everybody, no matter your background or your beliefs.
Okay, so you've convinced me. I'm sold. I want to try meditation, but I'm a how-to kind of person. I need like steps. So does the source give us, a beginner-friendly guide, something we can, actually use to get started?
It does, it does. The source outlines a really simple approach that anyone can follow, even if you've never, meditated a day in your life. And it tackles a lot of those common myths, like needing hours of practice or finding a perfectly silent place to do it.
Okay, good, good. So tell me, what are the steps? I'm ready. I'm sure our listeners are too. Let's get into this.
All right, so first things first, find yourself a quiet spot. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a place where you can, relax without a bunch of distractions.
Okay, so like my favorite armchair would work, or even like, I don't know, like a quiet corner of the park or something.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, as long as you feel comfortable and, relatively undisturbed. Once you've found your spot, the source recommends setting a timer. And don't feel like you have to start with like a marathon meditation session or anything. 3 to 5 minutes is a great starting point.
Oh, okay, good. See, that's a relief because I was kind of intimidated by, like an hour of meditation. So find a spot, set the timer. What about posture? Do I have to like, sit in some crazy yoga pose?
Nope, not at all. The source is all about comfort and simplicity. You can sit in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or on a cushion with your legs crossed. You can even lie down if that's more comfortable. Just, be mindful of not falling asleep. The key is to keep your spine straight, but relaxed.
Got it, got it. So comfort is key. Good posture, no pressful poses required. Okay, so now like, what do I actually do? Like once I'm settled in, what's the next step?
So the foundation of most meditation practices is the breath. The source suggests closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths to kind of settle in, and then just letting your breath flow naturally. Just pay attention to the sensation of the air, like entering and leaving your body.
Okay, that sounds simple enough, but I gotta say, I have a feeling my minds can start racing, like thinking about my to-do list and that embarrassing thing I said 5 years ago, and you know how it goes. So what happens when my mind inevitably starts to wander?
Well, that's totally normal. The source says everyone experiences that. Even, people who have been meditating for years. The key is to not judge yourself or get all frustrated when your mind wanders. Just gently acknowledge the thought and redirect your attention back to your breath. It's kind of like training a puppy, It takes patience and repetition.
I like that analogy, the puppy. So it's not about like completely silencing our thoughts. It's about noticing them and then like gently bringing our focus back to the present moment.
Yes, exactly. And it's important to remember that meditation is a practice. It's not like a performance. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's really just about showing up consistently and being kind to yourself throughout the process.
Yeah, I like that. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do things perfectly, especially when it comes to like self-improvement stuff. But it sounds like meditation is more about like acceptance and, self-compassion.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and like a non-judgmental awareness. Now, if you're open to it, I think it would be beneficial to actually experience a short guided meditation. The source actually includes a script that's perfect for beginners.
You know me, I'm always up for trying something new, and I'm sure our listeners are curious to experience this firsthand. So let's guide them through it.
Okay, great. So if you're comfortable, go ahead and find a comfortable position and close your eyes. If not, just continue listening. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and gently exhale through your mouth. Let's repeat that 2 more times. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Now, just allow your breath to flow naturally without trying to control it. Notice the rise and fall of your chest or the gentle sensation of the air moving in and out of your nostrils. If your mind starts to wander, that's perfectly okay. Just acknowledge the thought and gently guide your attention back to your breath. There's no need to judge yourself. Just observe your thoughts without getting carried away by them. Continue to focus on your breath. Feel like the rhythm of each. Inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the sounds in the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take 1 more deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly open your eyes. Well done. You just had a taste of meditation.
Wow, that was incredibly relaxing. Even just those few minutes felt like so grounding, so peaceful. It's amazing how much like a shift in focus can change how you feel.
Yeah, it really is. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes to access that sense of calm and clarity, even in the middle of your busy day.
So it's kind of like building a mental muscle, right? The more we work it, the stronger our ability to like focus and, regulate our emotions becomes.
Exactly. And the benefits really do extend far beyond just that initial feeling of relaxation. The source emphasizes that consistent meditation practice can actually lead to like long-term changes in the way we think, the way we feel, even the way we interact with the world.
That makes me think about something. The source focuses a lot on the like personal benefit of meditation, but could the impact be even bigger than that? Like, could it affect how we relate to other people? Could it make us more compassionate and understanding in our daily lives? Yeah, I mean, if meditation helps us be more aware of, our own thoughts and feelings, maybe it could also help us like be more in tune with what other people are going through too.
That's a really interesting thought. And it's something that, scientists are actually starting to research. There's more and more evidence suggesting that mindfulness practices like meditation can actually increase empathy and compassion.
So it's not just about like, finding inner peace. It's about connecting more deeply with everyone and everything around us.
Exactly, yeah. The source actually mentions a study where they had some people go through mindfulness training. And those participants, they showed increased activity in the areas of the brain that are associated with like empathy and compassion. And not only that, they're also more likely to, offer help to somebody who needed it. And they even said they felt like more connected to other people.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I mean, it really does suggest that, meditation could have this ripple effect. Like it starts with your own well-being, but then it kind of extends outward and affects your relationships and, even your community.
Yeah, and it makes sense, right? Like when you're less reactive and more self-aware, you're better able to, understand and respond to other people's emotions. You become more patient, more forgiving, more likely to just, be kind.
More patience, more kindness. Yeah, I like the sound of that. It's funny, our source started off talking about like the science of, how to reduce stress and improve focus. And now look where we are talking about like how meditation could actually create a more compassionate world.
It's amazing, right? I love exploring these topics because you really never know where the conversation's going to go. It's like, peeling back the layers of an onion. You just keep discovering like deeper and deeper levels of understanding.
Well said. So we've covered a lot today, from the basics of like how to actually meditate to the science behind the benefits to like the bigger picture of how it could affect the world around us. I got to say, you've really changed my perspective on this whole thing. I started out, pretty skeptical, but now I'm actually kind of excited to try it out.
That's great to hear. And just remember, you've already taken a big step just by, listening to this deep dive and even going through that guided meditation. It's a journey. It's not about, reaching some perfect destination.
That's true. And to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to keep exploring this too. Maybe start with just like a few minutes of meditation every day, see how it feels. Who knows, you might discover a whole new level of calm and focus and connection that you never even knew was possible.
And hey, maybe you'll even be part of that ripple effect, bringing a little more mindfulness and compassion into your own little corner of the world.
I love that. What a great thought to end on. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into meditation. Keep exploring and